to certain generations or demographics, Yo-Yo Ma sounds like a your mother joke that just never made it to fruition. But we all know that Yo-Yo Ma is probably the most famous cellist in the world, and this illustrated book brings that home. The Music Inside Us, Yo-Yo Ma, His Gifts to the World. It's an illustrated book about Yo-Yo Ma, but it's not only about Yo-Yo Ma. So it's not like, hey, here's his life story, blah, blah, blah. To an extent, it is. It tracks his youth, growing up in Paris, and then moving to New York City, and his entire, scope as a prodigy, as a musical prodigy. Where the book is different, though, is maybe 2 or 3 times in the book, it breaks that wall, and it says, hey, but it's not just Yo-Yo Ma that has this gift that can bring others to discover yours. What do you have, reader? You're the person, the audience who's having this book read to them. What can you do that makes you special? Yeah, Yo-Yo Ma, he could play the cello like nobody's business when he was 5, and by the time he was 12, he was already world famous and hanging out with world leaders, playing the cello on TV, doing all sorts of stuff. What are you gonna do? And it doesn't say it in a guilt-trippy way. I might have misphrased it, or mispronounced it, or thrown in just a little one too many there. This is more of a empowering book as a what are you doing with your life, loser? It's not that. Apparently I've got some unrequited guilt I need to take care of. This illustrated book is going to be fine for those elementary ages. The carpet crowd, who probably will not know who Yo-Yo Ma is, they may not even know what a cello is. They'll know what a violin is. And that's how the book kind of sets it up. He was like, hey, Yo-Yo. Yo-Yo said, basically, I want to play a big instrument, not that violin. But he can play all sorts of things. It's a good little book, and part of the reason it's so effortlessly entertaining is because of the illustrations. The illustrations are by Jack Wong. The text is pretty succinct, and it's going to entertain that carpet time crowd really well in a way that most elementary school kids probably wouldn't think they could be entertained, because it's about classical music, yeah? It's about this guy who can play the cello really well. It doesn't sound interesting on the surface to maybe a 7 or an 8-year-old, but when you turn the mirror back on them and you're like, hey, here's the book about Yo-Yo Ma, this guy that you might not have heard of, but what can you do? What's your gift? What is your gift to the world? We know what Yo-Yo Ma's gift is, and it's that music. But it's also a pretty fascinating story, too. Because you gotta figure, I didn't know about him until I was an adult. Wow, great book for those who dig music. You classical kids, you are probably already hip to it. It's The Music Inside Us, Yo-Yo Ma, and His Gifts to the World. Gonna be great for elementary school kids.